Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jojana Kinyi. For my returning subscribers, thank you for coming back and welcome back. Kindly consider liking, sharing and commenting what you think about today's video. So here we had gone to the craft shop to check the creative things that Kenyans have made, and trust you me, Kenyans are so creative and the work of their hands are really appreciated. Like, it was out of this world. And I'm so proud to be a Kenyan, and I was so proud to see how creative people can be. I was impressed. I was really impressed. And since this is a place that contains both the foreigners and the resident, this was a really nice idea to have at the museum. It gives you that Kenyan vibe, that cultural vibe. You should consider going there and purchasing one thing that you will remember museum with your trip to the museum. So after the shops, after seeing the crafts, now we went ahead and did our registration, which occurred through eCitizen. Yeah, you have to have some data in your phone or else it will be chaotic. So after registration, we were now allowed to enter into the museum. And sincerely, this was mind-blowing. I didn't expect this in the museum. It was just a lot of history, a lot of learning. I had a lot of learning to do. It was like I was in an history lesson. I learned so much about culture, even my own culture, things that I never knew existed about my culture. It was it was a good time, and it's worth visiting. Trust me, it's worth visiting. You'll see so many things that you've never considered that they will be in your culture. You thought that is somebody else's culture. That cannot be your culture. Yeah, but the lighting is a bit poor. Sorry for the lighting. The lighting is a bit poor because the inside of the museum is dark, and I think the person that made it had some vibes in mind, because it gives that natural vibe, like that traditional vibe. Yeah, sorry for the lighting. As I was reading this history of Abu, I was wondering which community was this, only to be surprised this was my community. I have grown up to this age and I've never had such a thing. I think my grandmother did not do a well job while telling me the history. And this one was about the Kalenjin. I think like almost all the cultures in Kenya were represented, and it was something so good. We were just like one in a country, like a country in one room. You get me? Like a country in one room. There's Kalenjin, there's Kikuyu, there's Luo. Like you get to learn about different cultures and different communities. And then there was Kenya to show unity of all of our country as united as one. It was nice. entered this great mammal's room or space, I was so shocked. I couldn't believe that a real elephant, a real giraffe, like real mammals, could exist in a room. I was like, what? How did they even bring them here? Like, who had this suggestion in mind? Who had this idea in mind? Because it was so shocking. Like, this was a real elephant, dried and placed in a room for us to see. And some of us are still wasting time not going to the museum to see for themselves. If you're still wasting time, it is time to pack your things and go, because it's worth it. You will see something you've never seen before. I couldn't believe that a real mammal was in a room. It was so shocking and so exciting at the same time, because you try to imagine like how creative Kenyans can be for someone to think of that one day maybe these things will be extinct, and somebody who will be born later on will not have the chance to see what a real elephant is, and now they are preserved in a museum for us to see, even for the generations to come. It is a really nice idea, if I may say. It's a nice idea, and I appreciate the person that came up with this idea, because sometimes we go to this national park and you don't even get to see the giraffe, you don't even get to see the elephant, because you are so far from it, or maybe you're afraid to get near it. But this one, you could even touch the skin of an elephant, though it's dry, but it is the skin. Like, being near an elephant, it was so amazing. are still seeing the mammals. I guess the mammals were too many. They were all there. You could see all kinds of mammals. If you did not pass your biology class, you can come and do revision. I think a museum is also good for learners mostly, because as we learned, you are just being told mammals. You are not seeing them. You're just seeing them in books. So I think when you see them with your real eyes, it's easier to remember than when you just see them in books. You don't know if these things really exist or not. So I'll advise even the learners, even the teachers, you can organize a trip to the museum and let the kids see the animals by their own eyes. I think something that you see with your own eyes is easy to remember. When you are told that you name the mammals, you remember that picture you saw and you remember the history that you read about this animal and you say, yes, I know the mammal. So I think it's a very good learning environment for even the students. So teachers and parents should take their kids to the museum. Let them learn the history. Let them learn the animals. Like, there is a lot to learn. And this place, when I read this place, I was like, am I in a different world or I'm still in the same world? This place looked so realistic. I think even in the videos, you can see like we are in a different area. The creativity in this place, yeah, it was so amazing. I couldn't even believe that this was part of the museum. I couldn't believe I'm still inside the museum. I even felt like, am I with these people? Because it felt like these people are just near me. It was like, it was so real. I couldn't even imagine. Where? People are so creative. I swear this creativity is top notch. You could see like you are near these people, you are together with them. It was so realistic. It is better when you see it with your own eyes than through the videos. It is way, way better, trust me. And from there, from learning about the mammals, now you learn about the currency, how people in the past used to trade, the likes of barter trade, before even the shilling came to practice, before people started using money. You will learn about all that in this CBK room. It's called CBK room because it's like it has history about Central Bank of Kenya, the first people that were there. It had so many history about money and about evolution of money, evolution of trade generally, until you reach the evolution of money. Because it's from trade, we started from barter trade before we even used money. And then there was a spin and learn thingy over here where you were asked a question and there's a place where you can find your answers if you found them correctly. It is like a game where if you have kids, you can play the game with them, and then you see like there it's written find your answers. So from those boxes, the colors, you will find every answer in those those boxes contain answers to every questions that were there according to the color code. It is an amazing place to be in. I swear, it is amazing. It's both exciting and a learning place. So I think you should consider going with your kids, going with someone. Like 1996 was the day CBK Bank was created, or what, something like that. Yeah, it's a good learning environment, and also fun. You should don't go there alone. It's better when you do it with someone. It's more exciting. Yeah, and there was a room where I first saw 20 shilling note. I saw 5 shilling notes, things that I've never seen. I was born when they were long gone. That is the benefits of going to the museum. You get to see things that even existed before you existed. And there was a TV explaining about the invasion, about there they were talking about when 50 shilling note first appeared. It was just so exciting because look at you're able to see things that happened long time ago, and you can even sit there and listen to the whole history about money and how money has evolved. The way we learned in history about the evolution of man is the same way there's evolution of money. How exciting is that? Very, very exciting. Here we got to learn about more of Islamic culture, how they dress, the foods that they eat, the spices. It was so much about the Muslim culture, where they originated from, the kind of dresses that they wear, the Holy Bible, which is the holy book, their holy book, which is the Quran. Yeah, and the spices, the cloves, the cinnamon, the cardamom, all that was in this room about the Islamic culture. That's why I say in this museum, you'll get to learn everything about Kenya. Everything, the culture, the communities, even the religions. So, after learning about the Muslim culture, how they came, what they eat, their holy books, we went to the B section. Trust you me, this place is an amazing place. I saw bees, honeybees, and the way it's been created, it looks like a bee comb. It is so so nice. Though it has been made to be dark, but it is nice. It's just giving its own vibe. Yeah, the bees, I saw very big and large bees. I don't know if they are real or it was just something created, but it was amazing to see such kind of bees exist. So as we exited the B the B area, we there was a very cute and unique exit. And on our exit, we found another animals. At this point, we were so done with the animals. Like the museum is just so full of animals, histories, bees. Like it was just too much, and we were like, we are now exhausted. We have like exhausted the part of our memory that is supposed to hold, but we are still continuing because we don't want to miss on anything. Yeah, because that was the reason why we went in the first place. So that explained the stages of life from birth to growth until death. And then from there, we saw uh, different, uh, different things that different weapons that different community used in fighting. They used in music, Yeah, that is what we're being shown here. So on our way out of the museum, we briefly passed through the bird section, and then off we went to the snake park. And this is now the exciting part of the snake park, where you see the snakes and how they feed on other animals. And the snake park, we also saw the aquarium, the fishes, but first we started with the snake park. It was amazing how you can see the snakes feeding. It was so amazing, but my blood was just. I have never been this close to a snake. What? I was so scared, but I was putting my hopes on the walls that surrounds the snakes. And if the walls could have failed me, I don't know what I could have done. It was just scary but fun at the same time because you get to see the snake at a closer view. You get to see how they feed. You get to see different type of snakes just at a closer view. So after the snake park, we went to the aquarium where we saw different kind of fish. Very nice to see since some of them are not in our country, but now they are placed there for you to see. You can see different type of fish, and there was a little bit of history where they are from, and if they're found in Kenya or they're not found in Kenya. Something also noted about the aquarium was there were some fish. I think they were still tiny, they were still young and tiny, and you couldn't see them. You could just see movements, like small, small movements of fish. I hope, but the next time I go back there, they'll be big and they will have grown, because I would really like to see what they'll become when they become older. So after finishing on the aquarium, we went and finished on the snakes that we had not seen. The big snakes, the anacondas, the cobras, the different type of cobras. Trust me, I've never seen a bigger snake. I have never seen. But after the aquarium, I went and saw them. Though I'll not like to see it anywhere, but it was nice seeing them when they are caged, not when they are hovering around. I will not like that.